It's December 15th. JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today and the Treasury Titans. Michael Saylor continuing to storm the gates of Mordor, collecting all the gold, which, of course, as you and I both know, is Bitcoin. So we will see how much more Bitcoin Michael Saylor buys today, but I can tell you he is just leaning over, scooping it up, and taking it from people who will never see it again. Because no matter what the fact that Fong Li and Michael Saylor say, yeah, we could sell our Bitcoin, because they could, but they will never sell their Bitcoin, in my opinion. They are just scooping it up. They're taking it out of circulation forever, and they're behind closed doors laughing at the individuals who are selling it to them because they just don't get it. And James gets it, even though nothing in this video is financial advice. Economically, politically, socially, Western governments are losing control. If not in most cases, they have already lost control. And you care about a $10,000 to $20,000 price swing, you are missing the forest for the trees. It is inevitable, the path that we are on, my friends. Strategy Maxi says 88,000 Bitcoin in 72 years worth. That's if the price of Bitcoin is at $88,000. Strategy has 72 years worth of funds to pay the dividends. If Bitcoin gets to 250K, or I should say when it gets to 250K, that'll go to 204 years. So your kids' are covered with their dividend payments. Bitcoin reserves approach infinite time. USD reserves target 2 years, 1.44 billion. USD reserves approach infinite amounts. 1 trillion worth of credit instruments would build 240 billion USD reserves. Strategy is a AAA graded company. Period. End of story. We're talking in the reserves, 1.44 billion. The annual dividends are 811 million. The years of dividend coverage are 72 years. And the US months of dividend coverage is 21.3 months. And we both know those numbers are just going to get better. Hermes says, more liquidity is coming again this week. Expect an up week. Hermes is expecting an up week. I'm expecting an up week. Bitcoin had a little funky Sunday per usual, but we're right back at about 90K as when I'm recording this, just under 90K. Who knows where it's at when you're watching this, but who cares? Because we know where it's going in the future. Zinc says, just a reminder that Bitcoin is always rotating from weak hands to strong hands. Every day, the percentage of Bitcoin that is transferred to those who are never selling increases, and thus the floor and price rises incrementally. Bitcoin is going to 1 million. It's inevitable. Keep buying. So these are net outflows of individuals. And then these are the net inflows into Bitcoin treasury companies, conventional businesses, funds and ETFs, other governments. A lot of this, never, ever going to see the light again. Not all of this. There will be some selling, of course, from these areas, especially the funds and the ETFs. People will buy and sell. But a lot of the net inflows, never going to see the light again a day. And that's kind of an interesting stat, actually. There's an average of 14 Bitcoin lost per day. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to think that there is 14 Bitcoin that are lost every single day. That's over $1 million of Bitcoin lost every single day. Anyways, let's continue to move on. Adam says, strategy has 75 years of dividend coverage in Bitcoin. 75 years. 21 months in dollars, that thing just losing 7% purchasing power annually while your CEO assures you the balance sheet is strong. Never missed a dividend, not once. But Wall Street calls them risky because they bought the hardest money ever invented instead of playing hot potato with commercial real estate and BBB-rated corporate bonds that'll get bailed out anyways. Your bank has 8 days of liquidity. Your favorite S&P 500 company is leveraged 6-to-1 on assets that evaporate in a crisis. But sure, the company holding an asset with a 15-year track record of eating fiat currency for breakfast every day is the risky one. The market prices and the apocalypse for Bitcoin while giving investment rating to companies one bad quarter from Chapter 11. You want safety? You got consensus. Your consensus is just another word for groupthink in a suit that costs more than your car. Saylor didn't buy the top. He is the top. And that's a great photo of him. I'm going to have to take that for a future image for sure. Good job, Adam, per usual. And I love the Mark Twain quote. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. Luckily, I did this many, many years ago, and it served me very well. And of course, anybody listening to this right now, you have also done that. So congratulations to you. I kind of buried the lead here, by the way. Michael Saylor is back to more orange dots. We'll be finding out soon. You'll probably know by the time you're watching this, many of you. Some of you not, because some of you watch this right away, which is great. But some of you will already know how much more Bitcoin Michael Saylor has already purchased this year. This week, because he is back to being relentless, back to more orange dots. That is back with a capital Bitcoin B. Let's go, Michael Saylor. Hugh says, the twin secrets to accumulating great wealth, Bitcoin and MSTR. And that's in response to VB saying the twin secrets to accumulating great wealth, conviction and patience, which is also true. Do I have conviction in Bitcoin? Yes. Do I have patience? Yes. And if I employed that back in November of 2020, I'd be even wealthier than I am today. The majority of the world's richest people became so by holding a concentrated position in the asset they become they had extreme conviction in, usually the stock of their own business, for a prolonged period of time. Well, guess what? I'm going to become incredibly wealthy and wealthier by being extremely convicted in Bitcoin, extremely convicted in Michael Saylor, extremely convicted in strategy, and holding that stock and in holding Bitcoin for an incredibly long time. Period. End of story. All right. We've got an epic Michael Saylor clip. You're not going to want to miss this. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
So I've been all around the region this week. I started in Dubai and went to Bahrain and went to Kuwait. And of course, I'm ending in Abu Dhabi, the big end. This is the big end of the tour. And I have had a chance to meet with 100 investors, regulators, sovereigns, banks, crypto enthusiasts, Bitcoin enthusiasts. And I thought I would share with you what I'm showing them and what I'm speaking about with them, and give you a sense of what we're proposing to the sovereign wealth fund, the hedge funds, the investment funds, the family offices, the banks, the traders, and those running the government. And very exciting. So without further ado, let's put my presentation up on stage. I'll start with the title, right? My topic today is digital capital, credit, money, and banking. And so let's start with the first topic, digital capital. What is digital capital? Bitcoin is digital capital. Gold is metallic capital. Real estate is property capital. S&P is equity capital. Why is Bitcoin digital capital? First of all, because Donald J. Trump is the Bitcoin president. Donald J. Trump says he is intent on making America the Bitcoin superpower, the crypto capital of the world, the leader in digital assets. And David Sachs, who works for him, in March of 2025, this year, said Bitcoin is special. Bitcoin is an asset without an issuer. It is the dominant digital commodity in the world. This administration designated Bitcoin as digital gold. And of course, it's not just the president, it's the vice president who I've met who said that. It's the Secretary of Treasury who I've met who has said that. It is the head of the SEC who I've met who has said that. It is the head of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who I've met, who said that. It's the head of commerce, a small business administration, Kelly Loeffler, who I've met, who said that. It's Bill Pulte, who runs the Federal Housing Administration and regulates $5 trillion or $6 trillion of home mortgages, who I've met, who said that. It's RFK, who not that long ago wanted the US government to buy 4 million Bitcoin, who I've met, who believes it. It's the incoming head of the CFTC, Mike Selig. It's David Sachs himself, the crypto czar and the Bitcoin czar. It's Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary. And it's Kash Patel, the head of the FBI. So you have a profound consensus amongst everyone running the United States. And the most important thing is that the United States is the most influential financial regulator in the world. And whatever the US banking system does and the US security market does ripples through South America, it ripples through Africa, it ripples through Europe, it ripples through the Middle East, it goes to Canada, it goes to Australia, it even goes to Hong Kong. Even the Chinese will copy what the US is doing. So it's very, very profound inflection. The other major inflection point is all of the large banks in the United States have gone from not banking Bitcoin 12 months ago to, in the past 6 months, I have noted and been approached by BNY Mellon, by Wells Fargo, by Bank of America, by Charles Schwab, by JP Morgan, by Citi. They are all starting to issue credit against either Bitcoin or against Bitcoin derivatives like IBIT. And so there's a sea change here. Wells Fargo and Citi have both publicly announced intent to allow the custody of Bitcoin within the banks. In the year 2026, they'll start to extend credit. And so Wall Street, the banking establishment, and the regulators have all endorsed Bitcoin as digital capital. Where does that take us? Well, my company's strategy is the world's first digital treasury company. And because it's digital capital, we have capitalized on it, and we have now accumulated 660,624 Bitcoin, including 10,600 yesterday, we announced.
When you're ready to build your complete business identity, you want to do it fast and right. With Northwest Registered Agent, you can build your business identity in just 10 clicks in 10 minutes. When you want more, start your business with Northwest. Everything you need to launch and protect your business all in one place. Your business identity isn't just your logo or website, it's everything that represents you. From what customers see to what they don't, legal filings, state licenses, secure domains, and compliance tools. Northwest gives you more privacy, more tools, and more guidance so you can focus on growing your dream. For nearly 30 years, Northwest has helped entrepreneurs like us build confidently. You can form your business for just $39 plus state fees, backed by real corporate guides, people who know your state's laws and have your back every step of the way. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks in 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/paidjld and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/paidjld. Michael Saylor just made an $835 million bet buying the Bitcoin dip. Right now, Bitcoin's fallen almost 40% off its October high, and the big money is buying the dip. What's your strategy? Now might be a great time to convert your IRA or 401k to Bitcoin with the help of Bit IRA. Plus, you can fund it with pre-tax funds, then continue to invest it over time as you do any other retirement accounts. Bit IRA protects your assets with end-to-end insurance, highly secure storage, multi-encryption, and registered with the U.S. government. Your IRA is fully IRS compliant. Best of all, you can trade crypto within your retirement account without incurring taxes on any buys or sells. Just go to bitira.com/JLD and request a free info guide. Once you do that and open your IRA, you'll get a free ledger. Bitcoin has proven time and time again to rebound, every cycle going from a higher low to a higher high. With Strategy's latest purchase, Michael Saylor clearly believes Bitcoin is at a discount. Time for you to get in too. Go to bitira.com/JLD to open a tax-sheltered IRA in Bitcoin.
We are acquiring at the range of 500 million to $1 billion a week worth of Bitcoin. We've now at this point acquired not quite $50 billion of Bitcoin, which is worth substantially more. We're not stopping. For those people that we have buyer fatigue, we don't have buyer fatigue. I think that we can buy more Bitcoin than the sellers can sell, and we're going to take it all. And we're going to take it out of circulation. In essence, we're winding up the network. We're powering it up like an engine. It's coiling like a torsion. spring of sorts. And what do you do with all that capital? What we've decided to do with that capital is to start creating credit, Bitcoin-backed credit, and we've created the world's first digital credit vehicle. In essence, we are going to digitally transform the credit markets by creating a vehicle powered by digital capital. So the company today is paying out about $800 million worth on our digital credit. We have about 76 years worth of dividends if Bitcoin goes up 0% a year. So I think the Bitcoin reactor has about 76 years of energy. If Bitcoin goes up 1.4% a year, we have infinite energy. We can go forever. So that's really our break-even point. And why do we exist? What is the purpose of our company? We exist to transform capital into credit. So what is capital? Capital is, you have a 5-year-old kid and you give them $1 million block of real estate in the middle of New York City. It's just dirt. It's land. There are no rents. And you say, child, hold that real estate for 30 years and you'll be rich. No cash flows, but you have to wait a long time and it's hard to value the real estate. In our particular case, maybe in 20 years you can finance the real estate. And if you ever want cash flows from it, you have to form a company, get a construction loan, build a building, market the building. You're going to have to rent the building, then you'll get cash flow. That's a lot of work for a 5-year-old kid. Maybe you don't want to do it. So there's another thing you could do for the child. You could give them a piece of paper, a credit instrument that pays them $10,000 a month forever, right? The picture on the right is credit. I'm just going to give you money every month forever, starting now. Instant gratification. And the picture on the left is capital. I'm not going to give you any money for the next 30 years, but if you've got the patience and you can stand the risk and hold your breath, you'll have even more money. So Bitcoin is digital capital. It's volatile. It's going up. How do you create digital credit? The world is built on capital. All of the blocks of granite underlying Manhattan are the capital. The world is built on capital. The world will be built on Bitcoin, but the world runs on credit. You need money now to eat, to pay the bills, to pay the rent, to pay for your tuition, to get on an airplane, to live your life. And of course, the criticism of a lot of uninformed skeptics is, well, Bitcoin's not an investable asset class because it doesn't have cash flows and we don't know how to value it. And they don't believe something's valuable unless it has cash flows. So a treasury company that's capitalized on Bitcoin can create that cash flows. And so we're creating the credit in order to make this an investable asset class. And what our company does is we convert the digital capital to digital credit. We create the currency. So if you have BTC, we convert it to USD, or we convert it from BTC to Euro. We could, in theory, convert it from BTC to JPY or Great British Pounds. We convert the currency. We strip the risk by over-collateralizing the credit instrument 5-to-1 or 10-to-1. Bitcoin could fall 90%, but we're still over-collateralized, and so you still got your principal. That's the credit proposition. If Bitcoin falls 90% and you have the capital, you've lost 90% of your money. That's the capital proposition. Strip the risk, strip the volatility. Convert a 45 vol asset to 20 vol or 10 vol or 5 vol. What's the second best? There is no second best.